Welcome back to a special edition of the ARCA preview show. I'm Casey Campbell. That's, of course, ARCA Menard Series PR Director Charlie Krall. But how about today, the East and West schedules for the ARCA Menard Series East and West have been released today. Charlie, how are you? Is it finally good to get these schedules out?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, Casey. You know, it's great to have all of these things done. Probably a good month earlier than we really anticipated we would. In years past, this has been something that we would have announced in December, and to have all of this stuff buttoned up and to give our teams a running start at securing drivers and sponsorship, and I think it's great for everybody. We're really excited. I think both of the schedules for the East and West look really good. I am really excited about that West schedule. Some really good racetracks back on that schedule for next year, and I'm ready to get it going. I wish it was February already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So before we get to the West, let's talk about the East schedule. Not much change there. Actually, there's really no change in terms of tracks. New Smyrna starts it off February 15th as part of the World Series of Asphalt, and I know you're excited about going down there for that. March 19th for Five Flags. Dover will be on April 29th in conjunction with the Cup Xfinity weekend. The return to the Nashville Fairgrounds on May 7th. Always good to see it there. And then 3 combo races like last year to end the season: Iowa on June 11th, Milwaukee Mile on August 28th, and Bristol on September 15th to close out the season. Of course, the championship will be at Bristol as well. So talk about not much change to the schedule. The only one is Southern National is off the schedule from last year.
Yeah, Southern National not on the schedule for 2022. Certainly appreciate the opportunity to go and race there in 2021, and would love to go back sometime in the future. I am really happy to kick our East season off down at Daytona. It's going to be on a Tuesday night, a move from Monday. I'm looking at their World Series schedule right now, and night one kicks off with, the regular divisions of late models and pro late models, and, Florida modifieds and sportsmen and bombers. And then the next night, you move right into pro late models and Florida late models and sportsmen. And by the way, a NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour race. You've got the full blown NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour there. And then a couple of nights later, you've got the 100 lapper, the Clyde Hart Memorial for, the super late models. And, then on Thursday night, you've got the tour type modified 76 lapper, and then you've got the 100 lapper coming up on Friday night. And, it's a very, very busy week. So to have us, slide in on night 5, we slide it right in between that 100 lapper for the super late models and that 76 lapper for the tour type modifieds. I think it's going to be just a fantastic night of racing, in a fantastic 9 nights of racing. Having been down there and participated in that last year with the Track Pass broadcast, I am really, really looking forward to that whole week. I hope I get to go down and be a part of it again. I had way more fun doing that than I probably should, but it's going to be a great way to kick off that East season, and then you follow it up with another race down there at Five Flags Speedway, and then you start getting into it, with Nashville and Dover, and then you go into those combination races at, Iowa, Milwaukee, and Bristol. Bristol's going to be a really cool event, Casey. You've got, not only is it a combination event with the ARCA Menards National Series, it's going to be part of the, we anticipate that would be a major event for the Sioux Chief Showdown as well. So, it's going to be a very interesting day. Lots of chess pieces on the board for that one down there at Bristol. And I think, as we finalize some of our other schedules, I think that race is going to have a lot of spotlight on it.
Yeah, it's and it's another 3 triple point weekends, of course, I know the Sioux Chief Showdown schedule isn't still trying to work on that. Also still trying to work on some other things as well. We'll get to that in a minute. In terms of the East, talking about there, I know that you guys have been pretty successful on the West side with car count. How's that going towards on the East side, looking at trying to get some more teams out there?
Well, obviously we've got some work to do there, Casey, and honestly, that's why the race count is 7. We don't want to stretch the existing teams too thin. And we don't want to overextend, newer teams that are looking to come in at this point. Our focus on right now is getting out there and getting that car count built back up. It's no one wants to go to a race with 10 cars. No one does, whether you're a sanctioning body, whether you're a race team, whether you're a fan. Race teams want to come out and race against other teams. The more you beat, the better you are. That you want to be the best of the best. You don't want to be the best of 8 guys. You want to be the best of 40 guys. So we're working on it. If anybody has been paying attention to some of the technical side of things, we're working hard on getting some of these Gen 5 cars swapped over so they can come and run in the ARCA platform. And I think we're going to see a little bit of that here in 2022. And yeah, it's a work in progress, Casey. It's something we are working on every day. And I think once we get that car count kind of rebuilt, we'll start going back to some of trying to get back to getting that race count built back up.
Yep, sounds good. Let's talk about the West schedule for a minute. Phoenix, of course, kicks off the season. Another combo race with this time with the ARCA West Series, only time that will happen in 2022. Irwindale on March 26th. The return of Kern Raceway on April 23rd. Portland on June 4th with the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Sonoma will be in conjunction, of course, with the Trucks and Cup Series on June 11th. Irwindale, the second trip on 4th of July weekend on July 2nd. Evergreen Speedway returns to the ARCA West schedule on August 20th. A second return to Portland on September 3rd with the IndyCar Series, and of course also with the Road to Indy as well. All-American Speedway on October 1st. The Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on October 14th. And once again, part November 5th, Phoenix, and part of NASCAR Championship Weekend at the end of the season. Good schedule for this series. And let's talk.
Great lineup, huh?
Yeah, let's talk about Kern and Evergreen Speedway, 2 cornerstones of the series. I think we all know why those 2 tracks weren't on the schedule last year, with obviously everything going on with COVID. But now that they're back, I know that was a big priority to get those tracks back on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, and you, as any track promoter, I think, Casey, you can't hold it against them, coming out of, really the most difficult economic times we've had, to look at what happened in 2020 and say, I'm not just right in the position to take that risk here in 2021, to come back and be interested and see what we've done here over the course of the last racing season and want to be a part of it in 2022, I think says a lot about, what Chris Wright and everybody there on the west side of things has done to rebuild that car count. When you saw those races last year with 12 cars, it was tough. It was tough. I mean, it's not what anybody wants to see. But then you go back to those same racetracks this year and you've got 22 cars. You're nearly double. It is. It's great to see. There's a lot of positive energy going out there on the West Coast. I'm really excited to have the folks at Evergreen back and Kern County Raceway Park back. And, really, we got to give a huge shout out to our friends at Green Savory for, 2 events up at Portland to be a part of that very first Xfinity Series weekend up there is going to be great. And, we had anybody who watched that race at Portland International last year knows how much fun that was. And
yeah,
we need to do it twice next year. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, the Phoenix races were both great. And there's what a great mix of venues. And, you've got your road courses, you've got your 1 mile oval tracks, you've got a great mix of short tracks, from, the big fast half miles and 5/8 miles down to your, little type bull rings. I think we got all our bases covered out there. And again, I can't wait to get those races going and get after it.
So you mentioned 2 trips to Portland. I know that Kim Green and his team out at Green Savory have really worked hard to try to get that place back. Why 2 dates in Portland?
Because they wanted them. It's that simple. I think, it's for a track promoter, it's a relatively inexpensive buy. And it gets just, the same thing goes everywhere. It's a relatively inexpensive buy, and it gives your fans a lot for their ticket money in return. The return on that investment for a track promoter is pretty high. And there's a lot of history with the West Series up and down the West Coast, and particularly there in the Pacific Northwest, and it makes a lot of sense. And when you're looking at the entertainment that we saw there last year, why not do it twice?
Yeah, you add a race this year. The 2022 schedule adds 1 race, but also the series will not return to Colorado National next year. What went into that?
I can't speak to that, Casey. What I do know is Colorado National has been a very integral part of the West Series schedule over the years. And, they had a tough year this year, weather-wise, with that event. And, sometimes, whether it's the East, the West, or the national tour, racetracks, slide off and on, frequently over the course of the year. I don't know exactly what the reasoning is there, Casey, and honestly, that's something they would, speak more to rather than we would. But hey, we're certainly of the mindset that we would love to have them, back on our calendar, and we look forward to discussing our 2023 schedule with them, very soon.
Yeah, for sure. Overall, pretty good schedule on the East and West side of things. I know that the TV partners have not been announced yet. Obviously, some big changes, of course, with what Track Pass is going to look like as many of the content there shifts over to Peacock. But where are we at in terms of what that's going to look like?
I have nothing to tell you on that, Casey. I am not involved in any type of television negotiations. I do know that that's something you can probably expect will be announced in the coming weeks, but I've got nothing to tell you on that side of things.
Okay. Obviously, we'll communicate that with you when that gets.
Yeah.
So,
hey, as I said on Twitter a little bit ago, stay tuned. We got lots more good news coming out in the next coming few weeks. So.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this. Charlie, thank you so much for coming out. Of course, you could see the full ARCA East and West schedule to just go to arcaracing.com. Don't forget to vote for where are we at in this Reese's Sweet Move of the Year thing.
Right. It's on our Twitter channel right now at ARCA_racing. I haven't paid attention to who's got the most votes right now, but I'm very, very selfishly hoping it comes down to Max Gutierrez at New Smyrna versus Jesse Love at Phoenix. I love the sound of my own voice, Casey. So those are the ones I'm going to.
You were a part of a lot of those. Actually, you were on
right.
the call for all standalone East and West.
I got very, very lucky, just being able to be the guy with the headset on for those. But yeah, I'm really very, very biased with that move that Max Gutierrez pulled off there at New Smyrna. But I will tell you what, every one of those is a pretty sweet move. And hey, we're giving away over 50 pounds of Reese's peanut butter cups are going to be sent out to the winners. And you're going to have to split that up, I think, like 12 ways or something like that. But over 50 pounds of peanut butter cups getting sent out to lucky fans over the course of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot of candy.
Yeah, how about that?
A lot of candy. And of course, you can get your Reese's cups at your local Menards too.
Man, how about that?
Yeah, man. All right, that's going to do it for this. Of course, stay tuned for more ARCA Menard series related news all off season long. it'll be New Smyrna before you know it. And then, of course, we'll kick it off as we always do. We'll talk to you when those Daytona tests happen sometime in January.
Look forward to it, Casey. Thanks.
All right.